Welcome back, everybody. This is a video on request. I always say that I'll try and help somebody out if I can, and this video is just well, there's a couple of people are asking, and it stems back to the video that I did with the lead screws, how they're jammed up, and somebody said they were having problems with the Z-axis, and I said, well, the Z-axis actually takes more particles of dust and debris from routering than actual you know, the lead screws on the y-axis and the x-axis. Nature of it, because it's all there, it's confined a lot to there, but yes, you can get the same problems, and the people that were asking said, is it just as easy to disconnect and clean it out? Yeah, it is reasonably easy. It's easier than doing the y-axis or the x-axis, but I'm going to show you that because it is something that and I've discovered something while doing it. I've got the spare one, the Z-axis bed. It's the original one that was, if you remember, all those this here has no shoulders on, so it's not as it's definitely not as stable, the stability wise, using it as the new ones, the upgraded one, which they sent me, because the bearings in there, I don't know if you can see that, see if I can get them, the bearings in there, the underneath ones, which you can't see at the moment because they're there, but the underneath ones fell out, and I had to like super glue them in, which weren't acceptable really. It was just a sloppy fit. So I mean, this is all right now, but I had to fix it myself, which really shouldn't have done. But I told them about it, and they sent me another one, and they said from now on they won't be sending these out, they'll be sending the other upgraded ones out. But you still have the problem of in there with the anti-backlash. Let's see if I can see it, show you. You can see the anti-backlash, that's the one it's held in before screws, little Allen screws, and then you've got the floating one in the back. A bit difficult to see, you'll see it when I take it out and show you, and it's reasonably sealed. It's easy. What you need to do before you do anything like this is make sure your power and everything's off the machine for safety reasons, and what I would do is take this, disconnect your cabling, because you've got to disconnect the cabling that goes to your Z-axis limit switches, which are on there. It's on like a long bar, so it's off at the moment. I'll show you that in a minute, and a problem that I had with it, so be careful with that. The problem that I'm going to show you, and it's held on by two threaded Phillips screws. Take that off, and then it gives you access to all this. It's fastened on with four the actual stepper motor is fastened on by 4 Allen bolts there, so basically there's not a right lot to it, but it's easier to take this gantry off. Okay, so just disconnect the cabling that goes to it. So take the 4 bolts out of that, hold it to the gantry, remember which screws holes you've taken them out of. Not that it matters, because you can move this up or down, but it's just worthwhile remembering, and you put it back on as you've taken it off, so to speak. Mark them with a little felt pen or something, or a little bit of tape, then you know. You only need one hole marking, because it'll follow suit once you get that in right. Just match them up, and then take this off. Then you can work on this, and this is the same as all the other lead screws and anti-backlash. They need maintenance, they need cleaning. This one especially, because this one is right in the middle of where the debris lands. Okay, even with the dust extraction, it still goes on it, more so than my y-axis now, or my x-axis. But I'm going to show you that. I'm going to take you over here, and I'll show you exactly how I take it apart, and what it entails, and the problems that I came across. Okay, so I'll take you over to the bench, and I'll show you this. Right, here we are at the bench. Right, if you remember, before I brought it down to the bench, I told you about the actual problems that I had with this particular, this is the Z-axis. Just let me take you out of brightness if I can. This is the Z-axis limit switch bar, okay. One of my videos, people were asking me about these, had been sent some, and as you can see, these are soldered in on the back side of these. You can't just replace them like that. They should, when you have these faulty under warranty, and they should send a pair out on the bar fixed, okay. So first thing is, they are attached with 2 little Phillips threaded screws, okay. I think they're about 3mm, okay, thereabouts. And be careful, I came unstuck. They come out, they're threaded into there and there, okay. That one came out fine. The top one started to undo and then sheared off inside this aluminium frame, okay. It sheared off completely. I had to then re-drill it, drill out the centre and re-tap it. And then what I've done is, which Sainsmart should have done, if you look at the length of that screw there, can you see that? I don't really can see that, the length of that. When you put it in there, just look at the length. Can you see that? The length of that, it's out about 6mm. Now that's only holding this top on 6mm into here. To me, yes, thread it all the way through, it doesn't need 6mm into there. What I've done is I have actually put a shorter one on. You can see that. I'll show you the difference in length. Hope you can see that. You can see the difference in length there. There's a good 3mm difference. There's no need to have them in that length. It's a bit ridiculous really. So just be careful when you're taking this out. Just undo it slightly, back it up, back it back in, undo it slightly, back it back in. Put a little bit of WD in there, just not too much, just something to lubricate it. This sheared completely, instantly, virtually. So as I say, let's be careful with that. If you're taking that off, it's a word of warning, okay. So I'll get this off now. You've disconnected, that comes off your gantry, your X gantry like that. Take the cables out, disconnect from the plug there, which is for your Z-axis limit switches. Once you've done that, so don't undo those, that'll take your motor apart. These are the 4, as you can see in there. Take it a bit closer if I can. You can see the 4 there. 1, 2, at the back 3, and at this side 4. Okay, undo those, and then all you have to do is wind your lead screw out of here, okay. But don't undo your because a lot of people's been having problems with the actual lead screw joint, the coupler between the stepper motor and the lead screw. There's no need to undo that. You don't have to take it off and then end up with problems with that. So just undo these 4 and then wind that, and this will come out of there, okay. Right, once you undo these, use a ball screw, Allen key, ball end one, because it makes it easier to get in to take these out, okay. Your spacers will drop out, so don't worry too much about that. That's your spacers. And you know that the wire connection goes to the back of the gantry, okay. So undo that one. This is what I mean, it enables you to get into that back one, and you can, with the ball one, you won't be able to do it with the normal one. Go around to the other side and do the other one. Okay, right, as you can see that is free floating now. because it's still attached to your actual centre part, your boss, that your lead screw actually works in and out with your actual, and you can see the spaces on there. You can leave them on, it doesn't matter, you don't have to take them out. Okay, and then what you do is hold that and then just undo this, wind it out. Right, when you get to the back, get a piece of tissue and just hold. You can see the actual bottom part of the anti-backlash there, okay, because there's a spring in there, and then you'll see what I mean when I do it. I'll show you. I just wipe some of the excess dirt off, okay, and if you look closely at that, that is quite dirty, that, and I haven't used this for a while because I changed over from the other. Okay, you hear it ping or make a noise. There you go. Did you hear that? That's the bottom part of your anti-backlash, which is your spring, which you have to have in, and you can see the debris in there, the grease. Okay, so that will be all cleaned, and then you'll get hold of your, still carry on winding because it's attached still to that one, okay, and you can get hold of the rod, and that's it. Your lead screw out, still attached to your stepper motor. There's no, as I say, there's no need to undo that. Now I'll just show you. Can you see the dirt on that? Okay, right, so that's that out. That then leaves your top part of your anti-backlash still in there, so push it to the bottom. It is the same Allen key, just undo those. There's 4 on, okay. In fact, that one was undone, and I never touched it. Not this. Slide it up to the top once you've undone them. These shouldn't fall out because you've got the frame behind the back of them. Okay, then as you can see that from, you can see them from inside now. Just made it easy when I was undoing them. Separate that, and there you have the top half of the anti-backlash. Okay, same as they have on 3D printers. Completely different to a ball screw. Ball screws are really accurate. These are. Now, as you can see, when you put these back in, you've got to push that together and then put your thread through, and as it connects, as it goes through your front one, it connects to your back one, and that's the spring tension tends to take up a bit of the backlash. It works somewhat. Ball screws, as I say, are far superior. All you have to do then is you can leave them on there. You don't have to take them off. Okay, just be careful when you're moving it around and cleaning it. Okay, now you can check for any tightness on there. Now that runs pretty smooth. There is a little bit of notchiness at the bottom, but as I say, this was actually out. The bottom bearing on this side was actually out. You can see I've just wiped that now. Okay, and what I'll do then is just wipe all that away. Okay, now as you can see, that is just the bottom bearing on that. You can see the bottom bearing there. That actually just takes that inside. It just supports it. That's all it does. It's a reasonable fit, but that's all that does. It supports that, centralise it, stop it wobbling. Okay, right, here we are. Isopropyl alcohol, and remember in the last video, lithium grease that I use. Okay, so first thing I'll do is You can take the screws out of there, doesn't really matter, but I'll pop them in anyway, because if you look, they're full of grease, so it doesn't hurt. Put everything in there, bit of isopropyl alcohol, and then all I do is just wash all this down. Okay, that's the spring. This is the top part. You see it bringing it off, and it evaporates as isopropyl, so make sure you get plenty inside the thread part. That's that one. Then the next one is the bottom part. These are what we'll wear when it's used, because this is softer metal than the actual, I don't know whether it's brass or phosphor bronze or what. I should imagine it's brass, than the lead screws. So these wear, whereas the lead screws less. Okay, you can see that, and you can see the colour of the water, but the isopropyl. Okay, leave that there, and then they're just the screws there. Then what I do is get the thread, give that a good brush down. Right, okay, so that's got the screws in there, which I'll take out when they've cleaned enough. Okay, let's wipe a bit of this down. And what I tend to do is get a bit of tissue, put it into the thread with your fingernail, and then just wind it, and it actually brings all the debris out. Once I've done that, then I put the compressed air gun on it and then blow it out. Can you see that? Look, all that. So it's been done. Nice and clean is that. Then I tend to get a little bit of the and then just wipe this down, wipe the rods down. Okay, so we know that that's all clean now, and these are actually ready for lubing. Okay, and I can tell a difference in that already. You can feel it. Okay, next thing is compressed air. Here we have compressed air gun. It's the one that I showed you in the previous video. Now I've got this connected to my airbrush because I'm not doing the deep in cleaning to have a long nozzle on here. It's just simply quick blow. And yeah, a lot better is that. I'll load that up in a minute and you'll notice the difference. And then the lead screw, and you can see it blowing the dirt out now. Okay, so that's nice and clean. It's only so I'll let that build back up again, the pressure. Then inside the bottom part, okay, that's that one clean. Then we'll do wipe the spring. No need to blow this, it's reasonably clean. Comes off this reasonably quick. Okay, give this a wipe. Top part. And I'll show you how the anti-backlash works. Just let's blow this apart. Okay. That's all clean. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is show you how the anti-backlash works. Okay, so first thing I do is, as I always do, spray a bit of grease in there and just get a little bit of silicone grease. I don't put too much on, don't need a lot on, just a little bit right round the back. Push that to the bottom and do the top bit. Really, I find this the best way. Other people, and I do the same procedure on all my CNCs, my lead screws. Now, if you listen to that now, that's lovely and smooth now. Okay, don't put too much on that it's all over the place. Okay, and here you see, if you can see that there, you might just see a bit of excess there. Okay, just get a cloth, wipe that. As I say, I told you these have actual, it's like a bearing, but it's got a dust seal on as well, so you'll scrape off what's there. All right, that's lovely now, lovely and smooth. Okay, right, what I'm going to do now is just show you how this anti-backlash works. I'm just going to put not a lot, just a little bit on there, put it in there, smallest of amounts. You don't need, I mean, some people I've been talking to really do coat everything up, and there's no need for it. Okay, right, this is how the anti-backlash works. Get that on. Right, okay, now if you can imagine that, just that alone, can you see the movement in that? It rocks and it moves up and down. Okay, but if we go back up to, take this back up to the end here, remember I said to you, you'll have to put one into the other and then wait while you turn it until that actually, if you put it together like that as much as you can, and then it'll take it to the correct distance. Okay, right, so that's on now as your anti-backlash. Okay, now look, that's how it works. Okay, it takes the play up, you can see that at the bottom, but on that one it tends to tension anywhere that's in there. Okay, you don't get with ball screws. Ball screws are completely different, so don't associate these with ball screws. All right, and that's how it works. So now we can put that back into there. Okay, so I'll take these off. Just be careful of the spring when you wind it off. So right, what we have to do now is pop that back in there. Okay, so take that up there. You have to turn it till you've got a thread hole. Okay, and once you've done that, get your screws out of your, you find that they're all nice and clean now. Don't matter about taking all, I'm not blowing those off, there's no need to. Pop one of the screws back in, start it off, that just lines the 4 holes up. Okay, don't really matter which screw hole or which way orientation that way goes around, because they should be all machined the same. Okay, start them all off. I tend to do the back one first, the front one, it makes it easy for your fingers, and then the side ones, whichever ones you want to do first. Okay, move that back up, pop your Allen key back in, and then just fasten that back round so they don't go anymore, but you're not tightening them. Okay, and once you've done that, making sure they're gone in, back them off full turn. That's what I do. Okay, so they're backed off now. Okay, then once we've got this in place, we can start to put the lead screw back in. Okay, just till it starts in, and if you look, just till it starts to come through. Okay, then pop your spring back in, and then pop your bottom half in. Okay, what you need to do is press that right in, and you'll feel it take up the thread on the lead screw. Okay, then just keep winding, alright, until you've got it all back down and into the bearing. Okay, and then turn your motor around. Okay, once your motor's round, just hold that and then just wind that, it'll take it back down to bottom. Okay, then that will enable you to put in your motor screws. Okay, as I say, there's no tighten there yet. Then the last one, which is this. Now these are only just put in the loose, so the motor will manoeuvre about a bit. Okay, as you can see, there's still a bit of movement on there. What we do then is move that right up there, and that feels rather nice. Let's move it right up. Okay, and then just so I can get the Allen screws in, and then nip the motor up. Okay, now I do normally corner to corner. Just make sure they're all tight, just go around them. And the reason why you do it like this is, just let me do this last one. That's it, that's firm now. The reason why you do that is you've got to make sure that there is a little bit of give all round on that, that it is in the centre of that and aligned with this anti-backlash. Okay, so then just make sure that that goes up and down. Okay, and it does, nice and smooth actually. Okay, take that roughly into the middle. Okay, once you've done that, then what I do is tighten these up. You see? That's it, that's tight. Okay, now you've told that, it bottoms out as you can see there. Okay, there's no binding, no movement, job's good, and it'll go right up. You can tell if there's any binding, it gets tight. That's nice and easy all the way to the top. Okay, so that's cleaned, redone, and then you know you're back to starting the machine again. Okay, and you can see that there is no play in that, and it's taking up that backlash of the thread. So that's basically simple. And then you would take that, pop that back on there. I say the fault I found was with these screws, and you need that out of the way. I'm not saying you couldn't do it with it in, but it needs to be, to me, it needs to be out of the way. Okay. It's back on, and then tighten this one. So you can see the difference in travel. There's no need for it that length. Just makes it, if you aluminium and steel together, and you can end up with problems with it. All right. So then that's that. That works your limit switches there. When that body passes that, it triggers that one, and when it passes that, it triggers that one. Okay. That's what the little. You can see them. There's some little chamfers on there. That's what helps that. Okay, top and bottom. And that's the replacement of the lead screw on the Z-axis, and cleaning and lubricating. And you will need to do it. There's no mistake on it. If you don't do it, you'll end up with problems. You can see on this particular Z-axis, I'll take it down for you, and I'll show you something that's, and yeah, I'm not saying they're not pretty good, but why you have to align everything. Now that's bottomed out, that will not go any further. Okay, that's as far as that will travel down there. Okay, it's hit the limit switch anyway. All right, now see the space there. Oh, you can see that there's a space there. Look at the space there. There's a difference. So that is slightly offset. But these are parallel, so you would line everything up when it's in, so it's exactly square to the bed. Okay, when you put it back on. Don't forget that. Okay. So that's that job. Lubricated. This is my spare one. It's from the original, but the new ones are the same. They're just a little bit more shoulder on to give it a bit more stability, and this is longer. Okay, to account for that. All right, so that's the job completed. I mean, it's taken me, if I want talking over the camera and having to show you, it'd literally take me, I could lubricate that, get it out in 20 minutes. Now a little bit of maintenance every so often for 20 minutes is not so bad, and I would incorporate it when you do all the others. Okay, just do a big service on it, and they need it. You can't just leave them. They need, CNC machines need servicing. Okay, this one especially, because all your lead screws are open. They are open to the elements, whether it's damp in the room, rust, which you would have to clean off, or whether it's debris that's gone into the lead screws on the X, Y and the Z. They need cleaning and lubricating. Right, we're back around now. Okay, that's the Z-axis, lead screw and anti-backlash, cleaned, lubricated and then refitted, and to show you how the actual anti-backlash works. Okay, and I hope that helps the people that ask me about it, and I never thought at the time to show them. It was pointless showing the X-axis because it's the same as the Y-axis really, so, but the Z-axis is a little bit different in that respect, so I just wanted to show, and I hope it helps. Right, don't forget, end of this video, like and subscribe and give me a thumbs up. It does help, and it costs nobody anything to subscribe, and it's really my subscriptions are going up slowly, but they're going up, and I know my videos are specific, but it is, when I see people subscribing, it just makes it worthwhile. It just gives me a little bit of encouragement to make these videos, and it's all about helping people. So right, and as I say, end of all my videos, for God's sake, be safe out there, be careful, and bye till next time. Bye.